So, Your Honor, Mr. Copeland is here. I can state as his attorney that he intends to exercise his Fifth Amendment privilege against self-incrimination. He does not wish to testify in this trial. And I would ask, there is no other, not ask that he be allowed to leave this courtroom without being compelled to testify.
Pleasure.
Say what?
I said, what's your pleasure, sir? Do you wish to give testimony? I know you don't want to give testimony in this case, but you've been given immunity in this particular circumstance, use immunities.
According to law, Cornell University, use immunity protects the witness from the use of their own testimony against them, but does not prevent the government from using other evidence obtained from independent sources.
So, are you going to testify?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mr. Copeland, good afternoon. Do you want to be here?
Ma'am?
Do you want to be here?
I'm here.
Okay. Well, are you going to let me ask you some questions?
Okay.
How old are you?
Grown.
Okay, what does grown mean?
I'm an adult.
Okay. And when you say you're an adult, what number in years are you?
I plead the fifth.
Mr. Copeland, given the fact that you have invoked your Fifth Amendment privilege, but the state has already given you immunity under 24-5-507, this court holds you in willful contempt, and we'll see you on Monday. And we'll see if we can get some more testimony at that point in time. Take him into custody.
So he served jail time 1 day, 1 night, and was brought into court the following court date. And I guess he straightened up his ways and attempted to answer questions in the way the judge wanted him to answer.
And when you were younger, did you go to school?
Yes.
Where did you attend school?
I don't know. I went to a lot of different schools.
Okay, what are all the schools you went to?
I don't recall all of them.
Oh, just tell me some of them.
I only know one. Slater.
Slater? Is that elementary school or middle school?
Elementary.
Why, you don't remember what middle school you went to? Did you go to middle school?
I think I did.
How long did you go to? Did you finish middle school?
Relevance. Overruled.
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Did you go to high school at all?
Yeah.
All right. Can you take a moment and look at those pictures? Please look at those pictures.
Do I have to look at them?
Yes. I'm going to start first with Stacy Exhibit 350 Yankee. Tell me if you recognize individual Stacy Exhibit 350 Yankee.
I recognize myself.
Okay. Do you recognize anybody else in 350 Yankee?
Myself.
Do you recognize anyone else in 350 Yankee?
Their faces covered up.
Okay. Do you see someone's face who's not covered up in 350 Yankee?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you recognize who that person is?
I can hardly tell.
Okay. Is that Shannon Jackson? Your Honor, at this point in time, I'm turning to impeachment. Do you know someone by the name of Demikion Garlington?
Street name.
Little D.
For sure.
How do you know Little D?
I didn't birth him.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I almost birthed him.
You almost birthed him?
Yeah.
Tell the jury, what do you mean by that?
I mean, he my son.
Okay. And let me ask you this. Do you know another person who's referenced as Little D?
What you mean?
Do you know someone who's called Little D from Cleveland?
Oh, I heard of him.
You heard of him. Okay, we'll talk about him in a moment.
You said what now?
Tell me who you recognize in 380 Yankee.
Oh. Me and Coco.
Who's Coco?
The ugly boy right here.
Okay. My question is, when he was not in the studio and you hung out with him, where would you hang out with him at?
We used to do fun stuff, like go to bowling alleys and stuff like that. He went to the kids' football game, I remember. I've been to the club with them. I've been on shows. I mean, correct it.
You said on shows?
Yeah, like when I watch him perform.
Sir, Mr. Copeland, is it your desire to release your counsel at this point in time?
She fired.
She's fired? Okay.
Did you tell myself and my colleagues, Ms. Love and others, about Little D and Shannon being in your vehicle the night of the murder?
Huh?
Yesterday, did you tell myself, Ms. Love, and a few of my other colleagues that Little D and Shannon were in the car with you the night of the murder of Dr. Thomas?
I told you and them that what I told investigators in June when Nut got killed, something different because I was trying to finesse my way out of a situation. So I said, I picked up D and Shannon. D never told me nothing. I made it up to clear myself up. And that's it.
And was that yesterday that you said that? Did you tell us that yesterday, what you just said?
You asked me to be truthful. And I didn't. And I told you. What I told the investigator back then wasn't me being truthful. So I'm telling you something that I didn't tell them because I ain't trying to go back to jail.
I got it. I asked you was yesterday. The first time you said this part, and now what you're saying today is what is truthful. What you're saying right now, what you're trying to tell the jury right now, is what you are now saying is truthful.
What I'm trying to tell you is our conversation was about something that I said in the past.
I understand. I'm asking you.
I ask that Mr. Copeland allow to finish his.
Okay, all right.
I'll tell you what's up.
Mr. Copeland, do you need to finish your answers?
No, I need a break, Your Honor.
Say again?
I need a break.
Now, Mr. Copeland know he wasn't supposed to be asking the judge for no break, like if he's running the courtroom. He has been up this rodeo before. He's been in courts before, and he knows this is not allowed. So we know he was just clowning.
Do you recall what Thug said in 2015 to Kel?
Yes.
Yes, you remember what Thug said?
I don't recall what was said. I don't remember what was said.
Okay.
I don't remember me talking to the investigators about it.
All right. Do you remember telling Detective Gaither that when Kel got on the phone, that Thug said the beef ain't over with until you pay for my window? You shot my window.
Yes.
Yes, you remember telling Detective Gaither that?
I don't remember what I done told the police.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Are you just saying yes now to speed up your questioning?
Most definitely.
Okay. Are you saying yes, that's what you told Detective Gaither?
I know I ain't complete school, but I think I'm speaking proper English. I told you, I don't recall nothing I said to no police. You keep sitting right here asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. I'm tired of it. I'm drained.
Okay. Well, if you would just answer the questions
I
properly.
am answering the question. You asked me, I said yes, yes. When I say yes, you ask me the same question over and over and over and over and over.
But did you just tell the court or this jury that you're saying yes just to move the process along?
I think I said it loud and clear.
So again, will you just answer the questions and we can move the process along?
You keep asking. Okay, yes.
Did Thug ever speak with you about his relationship with Nut?
No.
Did you ever observe Thug and Nut together?
I never saw those two together. I never been around those two together. No, it never crossed my mind.
So how were you able to tell Detective Gaither that Nut and Thug was cool?
Because they're questioning me and I'm trying to get them off of me. And she asked me questions about Nut and thug, I guess, and I'm telling her whatever she asked me. Let's say she asked me a question about the sky. I'm gonna say, yeah, I seen the sky. It's blue. Whatever she asked me, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna agree to that. I'm gonna say whatever she asked me. If she asked me about this reporter right here, I'm gonna say, yep, she's sitting outside me with white tennis shoes on. I'm gonna say something, just because I want her to believe I'm telling her the truth. That I want her to get me out of jail.
What, she has on white tennis shoe, don't she?
Don't you got on white tennis shoes? She got on Chucks.
Right, and they white, right?
What color your shoes is? She got on Chucks.
So you telling the truth.
What color your shoes is? She said they white.
Right, so you're telling the truth then.
Well, it depends.
So how is this attorney going to believe him when he said he tells the truth sometimes? That's on one hand. On the other hand, he says he's telling the truth now, but he lied back then. I mean, it's a mess. And this Kenneth Copeland is comical. So he's not the ideal witness. He has admitted on the stand that he lies when he needs to get out of a scrape. So he's not believable. He is not going to be what the jury would call an ideal witness. And they're not going to be believing anything he says. And he's supposed to be the smoking gun witness for the state, who is supposed to put away YSL based on his testimony. But I believe he knows what he's doing. He didn't want to testify in the first place. And because he was thrown in jail for pleading the fifth, now he's going to try to throw the case in YSL's favor. And now he's trying to cast that shadow of doubt in the minds of the jurors. So YSL and some members of that group will be acquitted.
I can recall 2014. I've been in jail so much.
So once you heard the pop, 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 do you remember what happened next?
Yeah, I turned the radio down to see was I tripping.
Okay. And once you turned the radio down to see if you were tripping, what do you remember happening next?
Bullets hit my car. I don't remember no. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
So you're saying you don't remember?
For those of you coming onto the page, these are little snips of Mr. Copeland's testimony in the YSL trial.
Gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram. All right, members of the jury, good morning. All right, we're going to continue with our current witness. Mr. Copeland, you're still on the oath, okay? All right, sir? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. Ms. Holden.
Good morning. I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as State Exhibit 164 Echo, page 2373. And it should come up on your screens. Looking at page 2373 of 164 Echo, who is depicted in those pictures?
Man, Young Thug.
All right, and I want to scroll down to page 2373 of 164 Echo. Do you see, similar to yesterday, the date? If you can scroll back up, Mr. Adkins. Do you see that line that says taken?
Somebody at the top up here, same place.
Yes, sir. What is that?
Which one? This one or that one?
The one at the top.
What about it?
What is it? What is the date?
2014.
And then do you see a number next to the 2014?
Yeah, 7-31 372.
You say that to be July 31st, 2014.
Got my back. Love him like my mama.
And then does it say who the photo is by? You can scroll over to the right. Okay. It doesn't say who took the picture. All right. Now, Thank you, Ms. Atkins. Since you've been released from custody in 2019, have you flown on a plane with Young Thug?
I was on probation.
Okay. So is the yes or no? Have
I
you
can't leave the city.
To your knowledge, have you been posted or tagged in any Young Thug picture since 2019?
Not to my knowledge. I don't know.
Since 2019, have you been with Thug together in the club? Not seen him in the club, but you two all actively were together in the club.
All rise for the jury.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. All right, thank you, Officer Hudson. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, good afternoon. All right, sorry you had to compete with the vice president in traffic today, so all of you that may have had to come down here today. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and continue with examination of our current witness. Mr. Copeland, you're still under oath, okay?
Good afternoon. All right. So yesterday, we left off talking about your interview that you did on February 20th, 2015. Going back to the incident in which you, your girlfriend at the time, and your child was being shot at, do you remember seeing any of the individuals who shot at you?
I never saw no one that shot at me at that time.
Do you recall in that interview a period of time where the detective left the room and you were speaking with your girlfriend and you told her that you knew who shot at you?
I never saw nobody. I never saw who shot at me. If I saw who shot at me, I would never told the police who shot at me.
Do you recall in this same February 20th, 2021 interview that when the detective left the room, you said to your girlfriend, "This shit not gonna work. Sit right here and be a damn snitch, so I'm gonna keep going." Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall.
Okay. And then she responded, so, Your Honor, it'll be effect on the listener.
I'll rule the objection, sir. I'll rule, sir.
So what you're saying is, why you acting like you did? And she said, you should have just said, no, I thought you know all of them. And you said to her, I do know who it was. Do you recall telling her that?
I know that I knew the camera. I knew that I was being recorded, so I kind of knew what I was doing.
Okay. And then you said, I saw him. I did when he jumped out the car. I know exactly who I saw.
Nobody never got out of the car, so it's clearly proved that I knew what I was doing.
Do you recall telling your girlfriend that?
I don't recall what I told her.
Okay. And this was when the detectives had left the room.
I don't recall if they left the room or if they stayed in.
Do you recall further in the interview when the detectives asked you whether or not any of the people who did this had ever been to your home you instructed your girlfriend to tell the detectives who had recently been at the house?
I don't recall what I told him.
Do you recall the detective asking anybody you let come over to the house recently that normally ain't been by there? And then you told Deshaun, tell him who been there. Do you recall that?
If I brought anybody to my house, I'm 100% sure they know not to play with me.
Okay. Do you also remember when you and your girlfriend were in the room by yourself, you told your girlfriend it was Tay and them who did this to you?
I don't recall.
Was it Tay that shot at your vehicle?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Do you recall in that same interview being concerned about being labeled a snitch?
I don't care about what I'm being labeled as.
Let me ask you this. During this time when your home was when you were being shot at with your daughter and your then girlfriend, how many other family members' homes have been shot at that year?
Objection calls for speculation and hearsay.
I'll sustain as to speculation. I will overrule as to hearsay from Mr. Steele.
To your knowledge, how many of your family members' homes have been shot up? Back in 2015, after Nut died.
Objection relevance.
Overrule, sir.
I can't recall.
Do you know? Okay, let me ask you this. Was your brother's home shot at?
No.
Okay. Was your girlfriend's mother's home shot at?
Yes.
Okay. Was your sister's home shot at?
Yes.
Was your grandmother's home shot at?
No.
Did you think you were being retaliated against?
Huh?
When all the shootings were happening at your family members' homes, did you think you were being retaliated against?
I didn't think.
Did you know?
Clearly.
Okay. Why were you being retaliated against?
Because people said I killed Nut.
And do you know who was doing the retaliation?
No.
Do you recall telling detective in the same February 20th interview that it was a whole gang after you?
Every time the investigator talked to me, I do not recall what I have told them.
So you don't recall telling them that it was a whole gang after you?
I would told them whatever I think that I need to tell them to convince them to stop watching me.
Was there a whole gang after you?
I don't know.
Was the entire IF gang after you?
I seen a few of them, so I can't say that.
Which were the ones that you saw?
I don't know.
Earlier, I asked you about whether you were concerned about being labeled a snitch. Do you recall telling Detective Copeland?
Detective who?
Excuse me, Detective Copeland. Detective Curry.
Now I'm a detective.
Or was it? I made a mistake. Talking about
Correct.
Detective Mr. Copeland. I'm about to ask you a question. Do you recall telling the detective, I know if I tell you what's going on, they're going to be on records and all this here, and you're going to get him locked up, and he's going to get his discovery package. First thing they're going to do is send it 2 places, to the street and to prison, and float it all around the city of Atlanta, and then all around prison. But my name's over that. I'm not going that way. No, I'm not going through none of that. Look, they shot at me, my girl, and my baby. Almost shot my face off as we're running. I'm not for sure, but I thought I heard one of the bullets hit the car seat or grazed the car seat. Were you concerned about snitching in this interview?
I was concerned trying to get my story together, so I was trying to buy time.
Did you also tell in that same interview, I just know the trouble I'm putting myself in. Just know I don't want to have nothing. I don't want to have nothing, man. I can't go to no job. I can't do none of this shit. I know the street not going to be here forever. All things going on right now. Just waiting on you niggas to catch up and kill me. Again, not wanting to snitch on who did this to you, your child, and your baby.
My only motive was, anytime the police questioned me, was try to figure out how could I get myself out of it. So anytime they asked me any questions, I was trying to, if I couldn't come up with no answer right then and there, I was trying to buy time to think of something to say.
When you met with Mr. Curry, weren't you going there as a victim of an aggravated assault?
Okay.
Weren't you going to talk with? Good morning.
Good morning.
You have permission to approach?
No. She was asking me that, Mr. Copeland, okay?
All right. Okay.
Counselors, you want to? Yeah.
So the number is not broadcast, and I'm going to move it to 31258.
All right.
Oh, y'all still going? I'm tired.
So at this point, Mr. Copeland is yawning, he is stretching, he is sleeping, falling asleep. The judge tells him he's got to keep his eye open. He said, I'm tired. And he goes back to sleeping. So the judge told him he got to stand up. He was acting a fool, folks. Acting out.
Hotel and 168 Echo.
Get back.
So now he's acting like if the perfume the attorney have on is choking him. So he tells her to get back.
Hotel and 168 Echo.
Get back.
For Echo Hotel. About which part?
I need to say.
About which part? Regarding the gun that you used to shoot back at these individuals, who were you going to give? Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Huh?
Which police officer were you going to give the gun to?
Neither.
Okay. Who did you tell them you were going to give the gun to?
Whichever one they were asking for it.
Do you recall them telling you needed to give the gun to Gaither?
I don't recall. I know they said they want that gun. It's part of the investigation. I knew it was a trick. I told him if he let me go, I go get it and bring it back. He went for it.
And why didn't you get the gun?
Huh?
Why didn't you go and give them the gun?
They helped him lock me up.
At any point in time, did you ever get arrested for shooting back at those individuals?
Thank God.
Continue. Do you hear yourself when you said you FaceTime Thug?
Say it again.
Did you hear when you said you FaceTime Thug?
I heard I say something. I can't recall what I said. I have a hearing problem.
Do you hear when you said you called FaceTime on Thug? You called Thug on FaceTime for Kel.
Action.
When you went to go meet with the detective, weren't you going to talk with him about being a victim of a crime?
No, I was shooting back. So I thought they were going to try to lock me up for shooting back. When they said they would take me downtown, I put my hand behind my back and told him, you going to lock me up? Come on, get it out the way now.
And did they ever lock you up?
Because he wanted the gun. So he gave me 24 hours to give him the gun. When he let me go, I didn't come back with the gun. So they sent the SWAT team to my house to get me.
So, folks, he's between a rock and a hard place. He has given out so much incriminating information about himself that he's got to play ball with the DA's office because he's going to go down. They have so much on him that to put him away for a long time. So, on that note, guys, I'm over now. Don't forget to hit the like bell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and turn on your notification bells if you would like to get the new video when I drop it. Thank you for watching.